Okay, so firstly, I just have to say Happy New Year. I hope you all had an amazing holiday period and an incredible start to your new year. This is the perfect time to set new goals and find new inspiration and just really have a fresh, clean new start. So before I go through my planning and my goal setting for the new year, I always like to reflect on the year that's gone by. It's all well and good going through your highlights and scrolling through Instagram and seeing all of the good parts of the year, but everybody knows in actual fact you cannot have a solid 365 days that are all perfect. So in terms of a brief reflection, from October 2017 to around March 2018, I went through quite a deep depression. And for the first half of it, up until Christmas, I didn't tell anybody. Nobody knew that I wasn't okay, and that was probably the worst part of it because I was so alone in my sadness. And then I went home and spent a month over Christmas with my family, and we went to New York, and I actually felt okay. It was so nice being surrounded by people I loved and people who loved me, and I didn't actually feel sad for a lot of that time, which meant that going into 2018, I actually felt really positive and hopeful that I could turn myself around. And so in January 2018, I went back to university for my second term, and I was fine for a couple of weeks. And then I don't know what triggered it, but I spiraled. For some reason, I just wasn't okay again. Fast forward to March 2018, when I just realized that I didn't want to feel like that anymore. I was so fed up of feeling numb and empty and worthless, and basically like I didn't want to be alive anymore. And so I decided not to. I gave myself 100 days to make myself happy again. And to be fair, it worked. Over the course of the 100 days I gave myself, I realized that things like reading and writing and exercising, meditating and yoga are all things that make me happy. And I learned how to prioritize making time to do those things. And of course, it wasn't a full 100 days of just feeling happy. I did have sad times, but I realized I could lift myself out of it by doing one of those things that made me happy before I was sucked in too far. After that 100 days, I was doing quite well. And around that time is when my family found out, which was obviously really hard, but by that time I was actually doing really well, and I think that they were just happy that I was doing well. And since then, I've always been aware that they will always be there for me. But like I said, I was doing really well, and so I went traveling over summer from the beginning of July to mid-August, which was definitely my favorite time of this year. And then soon after coming back from traveling with Charlotte, I went to Malta with Sophie and Connor in early September, which which again was incredible. And so after having travelled for a solid 2 months, I was on a high and I was ready to start my second year of university. So towards the end of September, I moved back to Cardiff for my second year, and I was doing great up until around mid to late November. I genuinely don't know what triggered this, but for the whole of December, I had the lowest point I've ever had so far, and I could not get myself out of it. The worst part was that I felt so angry at myself because I promised myself that I would never get back to the point where I felt so low that I didn't want to be here anymore, and I didn't know what to do. And I thought to myself, it was this time last year that I felt at my lowest, and it really helped going back home and being with my family, so hopefully come Christmas holidays I'll be fine again. And then I went back home for Christmas holidays and I wasn't fine again. And so feeling like this for literally the whole of December did not put me in a good mood for the new year. So before the new year came, I did speak to my brother about this. He actually helped so much because I think I was so far into it that I had no rational thoughts anymore, and I genuinely felt completely hopeless. He said to me, "Kieran, what in your life is not good enough?" And I was like, I don't know. Academically, you're studying medicine, which is what you've wanted to do basically all your life, and you're doing well in it. Socially, you have friends that care about you have family that care about you exercise regularly, you eat healthily, you know how to cook. What don't you have that you think you should? And I was literally like, that is so true. I have everything that I could ever have wanted, and I don't mean material possessions, I mean in life. I'm studying what I've always wanted to study, I have people around me that care about me. What else do I need? Why am I not happy? All I needed was someone to give me that perspective and remind me that I have so much to be grateful for. And so that brings us into 2019. And to be honest, I was terrified at the thought of reflecting on the last year, because although I've had some incredible experiences and made memories that I never want to forget, I did have some low points, as I just explained, and I didn't really want to think about it. But what I've gained from reflecting on the last year is the realisation that out of 12 months, only 4 of those were spent being sad. Only for 1/3 of the year was I not as happy as I ideally would want to be. That does not equate to a bad year. That equates to, yes, more than a few bad days. I don't want to dwell on those days because those are all in the past. I want to be grateful for a fresh start that I've been given, because if I'm being honest and I'm being completely blunt, by the end of last year I didn't think I was going to make it to 2019, and I'm so proud that I have, and grateful for a new opportunity to live a better life. And so, as cheesy as it sounds, this year really is going to be my year. I'm determined to make it my year. And so leading on from that, the next step in planning for my 2019 is using my reflection to pick a theme or a guiding word as well as supporting words for my 2019. So basically my main takeaway from my reflection was that for a lot of the year, not all of the year, but for a lot of 2018, I felt physically and mentally quite weak. So I decided that my guiding word or my theme for 2019 is strength. And along with that, I set about 9 or 10 supporting words, which are just qualities that I want to improve on and that will contribute to the overall theme of strength. And for those I have positivity, balance, peace, gratitude, perspective, focus, courage, confidence, and love. Now that it's time to actually set my goals, I'm going to keep all of those words in mind so that I'm setting goals that will help to achieve those feelings or qualities. So as for my goals, I have 4 categories, which are personal, intellectual, health and wellness, and YouTube. So firstly, for my personal goals, I want to establish a morning routine as well as a night routine. And this is because when I reflected on my 2018, I realised that whenever I felt low, I was lacking in routine and when I don't have a routine I feel kind of unstable and a bit unsure of what I'm doing. So that's easily solved. Now that I'm aware of the fact that I need a routine, I can establish one and make it a habit. Next, over the course of this year, I want to work towards minimizing the way I live. So I want to declutter and minimize my clothes and my makeup and the amount that I'm spending. Very, very recently, I've come to the realization that actually we come into this world and we leave this world with nothing, and material possessions only bring us temporary happiness, so why should we really need them? And going along with that, I want to travel as much as possible, because I think that spending money on experiences is so much more worth it than spending money on material objects that only bring you happiness for like 5 minutes. Onto my academic/intellectual goals. I want to read 24 books this year, 2 a month, 1 fiction and 1 non-fiction. On top of that, I want to read 1 newspaper article a day and watch 1 documentary a month. These are just things that are going to help me expand my general knowledge, as well as give me things to talk about with other people, rather than being so self-absorbed and consumed in like only one area of my life. I also want to learn French, which I mentioned in another goals video of mine. I've already started, I'm still going, but it is my ultimate goal to be fluent in a language other than English. Lastly for this category is the obvious one. I want to pass my 2nd year of university. Onto the health and wellness category, which includes physical and mental health. Last year I did start my fitness journey, and I got to the point where I was exercising 3 times a week comfortably without burning out. And so this year I do want to increase that to 4 or 5 times a week. Running a 5k in less than 25 minutes, signing up for a 10k in September and finishing it without stopping, doing 10 push-ups and 10 chin-ups because my upper body strength is lacking. And I also want to eat healthily. I want to make it a lifestyle rather than a sporadic eating healthily for 1 week and then binge eating all of the crap that I can find. One of my other goals that branches off of this is that I want to try at least 1 new recipe a month. And then as for the mental part of this category, I want to do yoga every day, I want to meditate every day, and I also want to practice gratitude every day. And finally, onto my goals for YouTube. I'm not setting any goals in terms of numbers because I don't really mind how many subscribers I have. I do it for fun, I do it as one of my hobbies because it genuinely brings me happiness. So really my goals are to upload consistently. I also want to upload more personal videos like vlogs and days in my life rather than sit down videos, because I want my channel to be something that I can look back on when I'm old and grey and see all of the videos and memories that I've documented with the people I love. And lastly, for my YouTube goals, I want to upload an original song because the thought of that absolutely terrifies me. But I've written quite a few songs I love to write, but nobody has ever heard any of them, and so I think that 2019 might be the time to change that. But anyway, the last thing I'm doing in terms of planning for my 2019 is I'm going to create a vision board, because I'm a very visual person and I want visual reminders of all of my goals so I can see them every day. These goals are not short term for me and they are not going to end after a year. They are there to help me to create habits, and by the end of this year they're not going to be goals for me, hopefully they'll just be my lifestyle. And then for 2020 I can set new goals which will help to further improve myself and make me into a better person, because at the end of the day that's really my only goal, to improve upon myself and give back to a world that has given a lot to me. But anyway, thank you for watching this video. I do apologise if it was a bit deep in the beginning, but like I said, this channel is a place for me to document how I feel, and if anyone can relate to that, or if this video helped in any way, then I'm so grateful for that. If you did enjoy the video, then please subscribe for more, because I have so many more videos coming this year. Other than that, thank you for watching and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!